This video is sponsored by Squarespace. I think everyone should play Breath of the Wild. Now this is a movie channel, I know, and when it comes to talking about video games, it's not really my thing. I enjoy them from time to time, I like Mario, and that's about it, but I've never had the urge to make a video about any particular game until this bad boy came around the corner. I believe everyone should play Breath of the Wild because it encourages creativity, patience, and independence more than any game or film or anything for that matter has managed to do. I've had this game since August of 2017. It is now May and I am still discovering something new every time I pick it up. If I had to compare this game to a film in terms of its creativity, I'd say it's on the level of something like Fantastic Planet or Spirited Away, where something new and exciting is being introduced at every corner. It's very subtle though. You don't notice how much you can do in a given area until you're doing it. It's obviously an incredibly open world. You don't have to do anything at any particular time. Even if you're in the middle of a fight, you can just get the heck out of there. By giving the player this level of freedom, you gain a sense of creativity. So many games are like, this is how you do this, so now keep on doing it over and over again in different scenarios. Whereas Breath of the Wild is like, oh, you want to get over there? Well, you could get a horse, you could run straight up, you could build a raft, put some balloons on the raft, fly up in the raft, and paraglide off. The options are endless. When there are dozens of different ways of accomplishing a task, not only does the player feel the satisfaction when they do complete what they wanted to do, but they feel that satisfaction of doing it their way, not the game's way. It's a beautiful thing. The game doesn't give you an absurd amount of tools. It's not too complicated for the player. Take this ice cube maker thing. That's only one tool, but you can use it in so many situations you didn't know about. This happens in a lot of shrines, which can range from easy and predictable problems to borderline and almost impossible puzzles. It pushes you to use knowledge you already know, to use it to its limits, trying out every possible option. Now, for every moment you get of action and stress, you get double that amount of peace and patience. This is something that has been addressed about this game dozens of times, but you can't talk about this game's greatness without mentioning how subtly patient it is. Video games, similar to movies, are all about providing an escape for the viewer. Games love to talk about this, but rarely do they provide an escape that works as a peaceful getaway. Games are always trying to throw one task after another at the player. They never give you a time to breathe or a time to just take in the atmosphere. There are a few games that do this, but at the same time, they're not that fun. Breath of the Wild somehow is fun and also peaceful. In Breath of the Wild, you get that air, you get that 20 minutes of running through a field without really doing anything, but making it from one place to another. It shouldn't work, but it does, because in Zelda, despite how empty it might feel, there is always something to do and somewhere to go. The world is so overwhelmingly big that it never feels like I need to explore every nook and cranny that fast, and when I eventually do explore every nook, I'm gonna want to re-explore, because who can remember all of that? This game was built to make the player slow down and be like, okay, I'm just gonna be patient, run around, and let something happen to me. That's what I love. If you run around for maybe 30 minutes, there's no doubt you're going to run into at least something to do. By doing so, this game challenges this idea that games have to be fast-paced and fun to be rewarding. It goes, hey, what's the rush? Now, I think the most important thing this game gives the player is a true sense of independence. It doesn't hold your hand for too long. It gives you the tools you need to accomplish whatever it is you need to accomplish and lets you run with it. Literally. You never have to do anything. You can play the game however you want. This is something that took me a while to get used to. I got to the Divine Beast task, which is where you need to defeat 4 bosses, which are each on one corner of the map basically. I got through 2 and realized I was halfway through the game and had barely explored the area. It made me slow down, walk around, and discover an absurd amount of things that I could do and let me play basically an entirely different game. I mean, you don't even have to complete anything. You don't have to do anything in this game to have a good time. You could just run around and have a blast in this giant playground of a world. You see, GTA 5 is a great game, obviously, but it limits the sense of independence because the moment you mess up, boom, the game forces you to run from the cops or else it's over. In Breath of the Wild, you can just run away and you're on to the next thing. I make the claim that everyone should play Breath of the Wild regardless of what they think of video games, and regardless of what types of games they enjoy, because it is truly an experience to benefit from. People aren't pushed to slow down like this enough. Everyone is so quick to move on to the next thing because that's what something or someone is telling them to do. There's this fear of independence and of using the tools we've all been given to their full potential that no film, no game, no piece of art in general has challenged, like Breath of the Wild. Oh hey, funny seeing you here. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Before you head out though, I want to give a quick thank you to this week's sponsor, Squarespace. If you do not already know, Squarespace is a great place where you can go to make your own website, blog, whatever. If you've ever wanted to get an idea out there, if you want to get started, the best place to do so is Squarespace. They have a great selection of award-winning designer templates that look amazing, sleek, professional, you name it. I can proudly say that I wouldn't have most of the opportunities I have right now if it weren't for the website I made on Squarespace. They make it super easy for you to create your website with their 24-hour customer service. It's a great place to go if you have an idea or a company or whatever and you need to get it started. If you're over here wondering, but it's money, it's the pricing, I have a great solution for you. You can use my code Karsten, that's squarespace.com/Karsten, to get 10% off your first order. It's a great deal, it's a great site, great place to go. Please check it out. Also, if you have not already checked it out, the first episode of me and my roommate Will's podcast, Does It Whip, is out on iTunes, SoundCloud, and the channel. So give that a listen, check out Squarespace, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.